What's the biggest shock you've had in your adult life? I knew a lot of them weren't that smart, but I didn't think it was this bad. How bad grief can actually fuck you up. Realizing my parents are aging and someday they are going to die. Even in my teens I thought they were going to live forever. I became an adult and they started talking to me about their wills, who they wanted power of attorney to be, and suddenly everything's real. My parents are going to die and they will be gone forever. 480 volts on a welded contact. Some people never grow past high school. How popular cocaine is. In high school I thought it was up there with meth. Then in college it was more popular, but still I thought only hardcore partiers took it. Then I graduated, got a job in tech finance, and it's everywhere. It's like the most common thing people don't talk about. A brain cancer diagnosis. The full expectation that regardless of how long I have left, it will come back and it will kill me. Watching my parents grow old. I'm in my 40s. I was specifically shocked getting to see my mom after not being able to during lockdowns. From my perspective, she went right from having long raven black hair to Snow White. Just found out my wife of 8 years was having an affair with her co-worker for a year. How stupid adults are. Biggest shock was when a friend was killed in a head-on collision by an inebriated driver coming directly at him at high speed. That it wasn't normal for your mom to beat you senselessly with an iron golf club. Growing up I just thought that everyone's mom did that to them. Well, my dad passed away very unexpectedly last weekend. Heart attack. No prior signs, at least not insofar he told me, like complaints back when he was still alive. Nothing else in my experience comes even close to that. I'm devastated. I got a call at work that my wife had been admitted to hospital and that I needed to come get my children. That was all the information they gave me. I was at a site about 1.5h drive from the hospital, so I said I'd be there in about 2 hours. Finally arrived, and they told me where my kids 14 and 7 years old were. Walked in the room and said, "Hi guys. What's wrong?" My daughter responded, "Mom died." This was more than 22 years ago now, but I still can feel the shock. We survived, with a lot of help from friends and family. All doing well now. My first child died at birth. I was unprepared at how quickly a newborn decomposes and how easily horrific-looking damage happens to their bodies. How full of horrible people the world seems to be. Nobody has heart, it feels like, more often than not. I busted my ass for years through too much university, graduated with too much debt, then got a job and did nothing other than random training and orientation for almost 4 months because the project I was hired for got delayed, but my contract had already been signed. It was so anticlimactic it sucked. I thought being in the workforce would be fulfilling. I've had like 9 different jobs, tons of experience in different sectors. I've been loyal, spent 4 years with one company. I can't get somebody to hire me for the life of me. Adults are full of shit and have no idea what they are doing. Never have, never will. War starting, as in, fuck it's real, sirens like in the movies are real, missiles are real, etc. Then you get used to it, but the fact that we can have a war in Europe in 2022 is probably the biggest shock so far. It's not all beer and Skittles. In fact, most of it is just paying bills and doing laundry. But every once in a while, you get to have a cold beer and play with some colorful balls, so it's not all bad. That my dad didn't know everything. How many people cheat on their spouses and how many of those people don't seem to feel bad about it at all? My spouse was effing around on me. Not just during our marriage, but also while we were dating. And not just with a few people. Like, effing everybody. Men, women, teenagers, co-workers, friends, randos. EVY bod Y. Biggest punch to the gut in my whole life. I thought we were forever. Oh, such a fool. I can't do this anymore. My soon-to-be ex-wife, 3 days before our 10-year anniversary. The day my brother I had to tell my parents. How much I still need my parents. I'm 32 and love them even more now than I did when I was younger. Corruption, and the amount of people that get into jobs just because they know someone important there. Just how much I actually pay in taxes every year. Even the most successful seem to be only marginally better at adulting than I am. That was a rather hopeful realization. How cutthroat the corporate environment is. Biggest shock is realizing that most people don't care about you or anyone, everyone is just trying to be at the top of the pile. Humanity doesn't come from a place of care, it comes from a place of self-preservation. That I am now an adult. How much pain my back can give me at just 25. Currently dealing with a herniated disc and sciatic pain. That insurance is basically a huge scam. You have to pay bills every month non-stop. If we stop we become homeless. Also we have to work almost every week of the year, except for 2 weeks for vacation. But if you take 3 or 4 weeks of vacation there's a chance of losing all the progress we have made in our jobs, and promotions and etc. will be pushed further months or years. Somehow Nazis are back. How time seems to speed up as you get older. That one time I accidentally touched my inverter battery. Bill Cosby's downfall was fairly shocking. How cruel the world can truly be. That cranberries aren't grown in water. That adults are just big children pretending with everything. I had some doubts younger, but now I am just okay whatever. Finding out my wife was expecting twins. The amount of stuff that needs to be done never gets shorter. I was working on our clothes dryer and didn't unplug it first. Thought I had a steady enough hand to unscrew a connection without grounding the screwdriver. I thought wrong. My parents were smart, witty and enjoyed sex. How expensive cleaning supplies and toilet paper and shit like that is. 2 fingers in my ass. Adults act like children. This was very clear to me after graduating college and start my career in HR. It's everywhere, adults are just older-looking high schools in terms of the level of stupid within their work drama. How stressful life can be. All I'm asking for is a job I like with a decent living wage, a good woman, mental happiness, world peace, etc. Is that much to ask for? Did you guys know Matthew Perry voiced Benny in Fallout New Vegas? The murder of my mom 1994 and my daughter's best friend 2015 in acts of domestic violence. That home ownership is a ton of fucking work, and the chores I did as a child were like 20 of the total of what needs to be done. Me, 33, diagnosed with stage 4 cancer a few months ago. I think I'm still partially in shock. My cousin recently passed away. A week after she died, we found out the autopsy indicated foul play was involved. Then we found out her husband took out a large life insurance policy on her, ran up tons of debt in her name, defrauded a charity of hundreds of thousands, and had a mistress the entire time they were married. He's under investigation for her murder. Shocking that this could happen to someone I dearly loved. After a full-term textbook healthy pregnancy, my only son was born by emergency C-section, and when I came out of sedation they said he might not live. He traveled by airplane that night to a distant neonatal intensive care hospital. It was touch and go for 2 weeks. He's 37 now, brilliant, caring, is a government employee, been happily married for 8 years, and has a 4-year-old daughter. Counting my blessings. The sheer inequality and unfairness in daily life and the amount of waste our latest capitalistic system produces. $100 is an adult $1. Holy shit, we pay this much in taxes? There really is a time that you do just become irrelevant. I believe everyone will experience it, and my advice is to accept it and move forward. How gullible people are.